Hi everyone, it's Karen Redman, the Mayor of Gawler here once again, and here we are at Karbeethan Reserve on Anglevale Road, and I've got some wonderful people with me today because we're talking about our support package that Council's put in place to help a whole range of people and groups across Gawler. So I'll just introduce who we've got with us today. I have to my left Aldo Pasin. Aldo is the president of the mighty Willaston Footbal Club. Of course, Willaston, as we know, centre of Gawler. Okay, just so we're clear. The mighty Don and Brooks. Welcome, Aldo. Thank you so much for coming along.
Pleasure.
And we also have Peter Broelman, and Peter is in charge of the Gawler Eagles Soccer Club in many ways, and also represents the Karbeethan Sporting Association, and that's why we're here. So welcome, Peter.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least is the amazing Mr. Paul Horwood, who is our Manager of Finance at the Town of Gawler. And Paul, you love parkrun, don't you?
I'm addicted to it, Mayor Karen, as you know.
But we can't do it at the moment.
No, but I'm very much looking forward to, I think, end of June.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, thank God, because I do parkrun, although I walk, I don't run. This guy runs. And he's done the A to Z. Have you done the A to Z, the entire alphabet?
I've done all the ones in the state.
In the state. So Paul goes around different, as a relaxation technique, because Paul works exceptionally hard, and we very much value Paul being with us today. So Paul, enough about parkrun, but we will get back to it and we'll enjoy ourselves once again.
Yes.
But you're here to talk about the COVID support package that Council endorsed, just to get some key messages out around what we're putting in place and how we're helping people through this time.
Yep. Yeah, thank you, Mayor Karen. Yes, the Council, in early April, its initial response to the crisis was to, importantly, provide the opportunity for ratepayers who have been affected by the crisis to defer their rate payments for 6 months. And that offer was also made, Mayor, as you know, to sporting clubs and some of our tenants. So that, I think that was well received at the time. However, as the crisis has deepened, since then, Council has further considered its position in that regard, and what's the proposition Council's now proposing is in terms of providing genuine rates relief for those people in our community who need it most. And Mayor, that could be either the pubs that had to close their doors, or businesses that have been affected, but alternatively ratepayers, individuals who've lost their job or become underemployed. So Council is very much aware that of the sort of financial hardship that a lot of businesses and ratepayers are currently experiencing. We're putting up a package as the Council to respond to that as part of our 2021 budget, and that's essentially encapsulated by providing, on application, genuine rates relief to those who need it. And the proposal at the moment is a modest increase of total rate revenue in the order of 2.4%.
And does that mean rate in the dollar going up by 2.4%, Paul?
No, definitely not, Mayor. That's I know some councils are coming out saying they'll freeze their rates in the dollar, which I think to a lot of ratepayers, they'd be of the view that their rates wouldn't be going up under that scenario. That's not technically always correct, because if a council freezes its rate in the dollar, that doesn't take into consideration any valuation movements that a person might have for their property. So
with us, is our rate in the dollar going up very much as part of that modest rate increase?
Yeah. Well, look, at this stage, Mayor, based on the data we've got at the moment, we're suggesting the rate in the dollar wouldn't have to move very much at all, because we know already that, for example, 99% of our residential ratepayers will have a valuation increase, invariably in the order of 2 to 3%. So we will modify our rate in the dollar accordingly to hit that indicative 2.4% revenue increase. But what the council is now looking at is that using at least 50% of that increased revenue, putting that aside to provide genuine rates relief to those who need it, and that would be, we're proposing upon application, and that criteria, as you know, Mayor, is still to be worked through over coming weeks. So from a business perspective, we're certainly keen, and council's agreed we'll be seeking the input from the likes of the Gawler Business Development Group, being key players in this space. So we'll certainly welcome their input and ideas. But I think it's safe to say, Mayor, that the key message for our community is council's here to assist, and we are wanting to provide genuine rates relief to those who do need it.
So it's not just about the rate in the dollar or rates increases, or even that financial support package specifically to people that need it. We've also put in place support for our sporting groups and sporting clubs, and we've also put in place some money for capital projects. So in total, what are we looking at?
Well, Mayor, in total, the package we're proposing is up to in order about $3.4 million package, which is including the rates of relief we've just talked about, but importantly for the benefits of Aldo and Peter here and the various clubs in town. Council has also agreed in the last couple of weeks to waive the lease fees that the clubs pay for 6 months, but also importantly for those clubs who are paying community loans to defer those payments for 12 months. So I think from the club's perspective, and I'm certainly a great lover of Aussie rules and sports in general, I think council really wants to help those community groups, clubs, because that's where a lot of people's passion lies in the town. And I think, I'm very keen as its council to assist those clubs, community groups through this crisis. The common catchphrase is we're in this together. Well, we clearly are. We've all got to help each other, and we are providing that genuine assistance to the clubs.
So that's a really good segue to go across to these two fine gentlemen over here, sitting very patiently. So, Peter, first to you, Karbeethan and specifically, I guess, the soccer club, but what does that mean for you, and what are some of the challenges and opportunities for your organisation going forward?
Well, it means the world, Karen. The KSA is 4 clubs, 4 different sport codes, which is primarily soccer, baseball, softball and cricket. And since this COVID thing kicked up, basically the KSA and the clubs have just stopped dead in their tracks. Baseball had to cancel their winter program completely. Soccer was supposed to start with our juniors a couple of months ago, and our seniors had to be put on hold as well. So from a playing point of view and from a community point of view, parents couldn't come here, kids couldn't come here, and so that's a real kicker in the guts for all the codes who are here. And equally just as important is our canteen. That's a primary source of income, and because of the social distancing laws and all our regulations and everything, and just to make sure that everyone's healthy and safe, there's no canteen income at all. So that's a major problem for a lot of sporting clubs, and clubs in Gawler are no different. So the package announced by council is certainly well received and welcomed by everyone involved here. Thank you.
No problem, but certainly, when do you think things will start up, or have you not had those discussions, or are you still working through that? Still working through
it. Juniors can start training now. The seniors have been training for the last 2 weeks, and we envisage seniors to recommence representing Gawler throughout Adelaide come June. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get that far. Our mini-roos, the little kids, they won't just train just yet, but that'll be very, very soon. So we're keeping our parents and families all informed on what we're doing in accordance with SA Health and the Football Federation and anyone else who cracks the whip, and we listen and we do what we're told and just get things right and make sure that everyone, when we do come back, that everything's all in place, ready to go.
Because it is about participation and getting out and being healthy, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And that social interaction that community
Yes.
clubs do so well. I think
Yeah.
you touched on it, Paul. You know, that's part of our fabric of Gawler, isn't it? You know, getting together and really, really socialising and, I don't know, just being a community.
Absolutely.
And
Well, the
sport
good,
just underpins that,
well, the good
doesn't
part
it?
about the KSA is that there's different community groups all playing sport at different. Well, they all actually
Yeah.
intertwine and mesh and meet
Yeah.
up and catch up, and so it's a great community spirit here. So once that fires up, I think a lot of people will be happy.
That's great. So do you, Aldo? Once again, thanks for coming along. So
No,
Willaston
thank you.
Football Club and the Elliot Goodger precinct. So what does it mean for you and what's happening out there?
Yeah, obviously, thank you guys for the waiver of 6 months lease for us. We greatly appreciate that. We do have some dollar constraints, but our major concern is more about the community, and we've only just started training as of last night with our seniors, and just a sense of, you could see that they're really enjoying coming out and training, not only just the players, even the coaches themselves, with our guidelines and restrictions that we had to put in place. It's more of a healthy environment if we can get our players out and enjoying training again. Look, and we run a risk of running the lights, of having expenses, but I don't think that's in our foresight at the moment. It's more about getting the club together as one pretty well, and just get out there and do what we do best.
It's really interesting, isn't it, when this happens? And not that none of us have ever been through a pandemic before, although we've done really, really well, and I think we can't lose sight of the fact that we're well and we haven't lost people and we haven't put our health system under enormous stress. So they're huge ticks, but now we've just got to bring ourselves back together.
Yeah,
and I'm
absolutely.
really pleased to hear, it's all about community. It's all about just getting together and enjoying each other's company. And that's where Sport and Rec nails it. It's, you always, whenever I go and visit you guys and enjoy your hospitality, you're always having a great time. And everyone's just genuinely loving being there. So again, thank you for coming along, and I look forward to a really vibrant sporting precinct, and who knows where we'll be in 12 months, but hopefully we'll be right back playing lots of different sports and enjoying each other's company. So thank you. So back to you, Paul. Let's talk about the capital projects that council's earmarked, or just the dollar value. What's the process there, and what might that look like?
Mayor, look, at this stage, council's committed to a sort of economic stimulus package for the local community, and whilst the nature of the projects haven't been yet determined, they'll be worked through again with the elected member body. But suffice to say that the clear message from the council has been, we want those projects designed, aligned to local employment and local suppliers, and as a sort of stimulus for the local community. So I would suspect, Mayor, a lot of those projects could relate to facilities across the board, whether it be sporting clubs or community groups. So I'm very much looking forward to assisting the elected member body in that regard to what those projects would look like. But I think there'll be key winners for the community out of that process.
So that's, watch this space, and guys, I know these two wonderful gentlemen have put in their wish list, which is fantastic, because we do want ideas of how we can spend that money. We've certainly got ideas, and I think that those key themes of getting local people involved, getting local jobs, local procurement, etc., and just kick-starting, and also maybe partnering with federal and state government, because it's not all about local government, it's actually about all of us in this together, as you said right at the beginning, Paul. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming along.
Thank you.
I look forward to the seasons if and when they start. Thank you very much, Paul, for your wisdom and kind words, and thank you everyone for watching, and have a great day.